Hello and welcome to another episode of This is Australia and Beyond. This time we're going to bring you a story all the way from LA. We traveled all the way to Los Angeles to bring you this story. But first of all, I would like to thank Aurelia Sofia Roman for supporting us and sponsoring us to bring you the story. Sam Tattoo has the story. Let's have a look.
Hi, I'm Sam Tattoo and we're here at the glorious Beverly Hills, California. And today I'm catching up with the world-renowned author Michael Al-Basher about his book. He's here on a book tour promoting Oh My God, Am I Alright? Let's figure this one out. Michael, welcome to LA. How are you finding it?
Amazing. It's
Yeah?
been an amazing journey.
Have you been here before?
Yes, I have, 4 years ago.
Now, I hear you are hot stuff in Australia and you're touring America at the moment. Is that right? Is that correct?
I'm not sure what the hot stuff in Australia, but yes, I am.
Don't play it down. I have good context that you're amazing.
Oh, you're amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm just grateful to be here
Yeah.
in LA
Great.
with you right now.
Oh, brilliant. Well, we're so lucky to have you. So
Thank you
blessed.
so much.
Now, how are you finding Beverly Hills? How are you
Amazing.
finding this area?
I can see myself being here for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
for
bet.
sure.
You seem like a native already.
I love it. It's the energy. It's that bubble. It's the people around me.
Yeah.
I'm blessed to have them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been an amazing journey so far. Thank you.
Now, speaking of the journey, this book of yours, right? You're here launching your book in Los Angeles. Oh My God, Am I Alright? By Michael Al-Basher. How's that all going? What's the feedback like in America so far?
Americans have been amazing support, and I
Right.
just their heart is set on the story. I just wish in Australia they're the same, but you know they are. However,
Yeah.
Americans have taken me to hearts.
Yeah.
And I'm so blessed, and there's so many amazing people that I've met on my journey here in America.
I bet. Do you think we connect here more in America than Australia? And if so, why?
I think so. You guys have connected with the story much more than in
Is
Australia.
that because we have more gigolos?
I think I just think everyone in LA, in America, is so inspiring for me because they're doing what they do, and they're from the journalists to actors to models to hosts, or
They own it here.
yeah, that's right, and they can relate with me
Yeah.
and what I'm doing much more
Yeah.
than in Australia.
Because your story is about inspiration. Who are you looking to inspire? What's your demographic?
Okay, basically any ethnic or cultural upbringing. I'm trying to push the boundaries with acceptance for tolerance for individuality. So
Right.
they don't just have to be Lebanese background, and they could be Italian, they could be Greek or Samoan or Asian.
Samoan.
Yeah, there you go.
Are there Samoan gigolos?
Yes, there is
Oh,
actually,
really? Oh,
and he's
good.
one of my bestest mates, and he's the most amazing guy, deepness and cultured
Oh,
person
love
that I've met. And you need to meet him, I think.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. So what's the demographic in Australia like for your book? Who are you hoping to really influence
Well,
and inspire?
it's the families in general. The families are those that have gay children, and it's the homosexuals that are growing up in this lonely affair because of their cultural upbringing or their religious background. There's no room for homosexuality in many cultured, backgrounds.
Well,
as
reading your
probably
book,
aware.
because you're Lebanese culture, right? That's your descendant, that's your parents are Lebanese.
Yes.
You were born in Australia, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so your upbringing, just being gay. When did you know you were gay?
I think as I was growing up into, after I reached puberty.
When was puberty? For some people it's 9, for some people it's
I think I
20.
was 13, 14.
Okay, right.
And for me, at that time of puberty, which I haven't never mentioned in this interview before,
Right.
I was thinking of men the whole time. I was thinking of, let's think of a package.
Oh, like you
Someone's
what's
bulge.
package?
A bulge.
The penis.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And
At 13?
Whatever it was, and I was
Yeah.
just thinking, well, that's weird. You know what I mean? I've never really mentioned this in an interview, so there you go. There's a highlight for you.
Were you conditioned to think just grow up and have children and be straight and get married? Is that the condition?
Yeah,
But
definitely.
what made you think it was
Just
weird
like me.
to think of a guy's bulge?
Because I'm a Christian background, Lebanese.
Oh, Christian, yeah.
With an Australian, but with a Lebanese Christian background.
Yeah.
And in the church, in the church of the Lord, I was brought up to believe otherwise. And it
Right.
was, so it was hard for me to deal with what my thoughts were. I thought I was a bit, maybe not all there, or, I felt really yeah, I really was fighting the thoughts personally. Every time I think of men or a bulge, I don't. I'd physically knock my thoughts across my head with my hand every time I think
that. You slap it out of your mind.
Yeah, it's like bang bang, like it's because it wasn't what I was brought up to believe, or the religious background or the cultural background and acceptance. For me to be gay was definitely a no-go zone.
So when was your first male encounter?
After I left my wife.
Wife? Okay, well, I did read about that in the book. So how did this happen? I mean, the world wants to know. How is it that you came to meet your wife? That was your first cousin, right?
I was I kind of whisked off to Lebanon at the age of 19 after finishing my HSC.
Did you know why you were going there?
I kind of, I was, they were, let's say, conditioning that I would get to know her, my first cousin, when I was younger.
Is this normal? In the Lebanese culture or just in your family?
I think it was just me and my family at that time. I think my parents had didn't know any better, and I was the first person to be arranged or to marry within 7 children.
So just so the audience understand, when you say the first person to be in this arrangement. Is that in your culture or your family? How does that come about? Where does that rule or regulation come about?
Well, Lebanese in general. I mean, I come from a Catholic background. We don't really arrange. I think it's the Lebanese Muslims that arrange.
Okay.
So it was quite different.
So you grew up knowing this as a Lebanese thing, is that
that's right, yeah. But we're Lebanese Christians and Muslims, but still we're Lebanese.
Okay.
But it was not the Christians that arrange.
And there are other Lebanese people with the same sort of arrangement that you knew of growing up?
Yeah, well, the Muslim sides, I knew that. My friends in high school were arranged at a specific age to marry their cousins.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what age are we talking about?
We're talking when they reach about 16, they already know who they will be marrying.
Wow.
So
at 16, I'm still a virgin. How are you being arranged?
I was a virgin till 18, so...
Right, so how do you even feel about
Sorry,
that?
19. I just to me, I just think it's a cultural, that's their upbringings. I'm Australian at the end of the day, so to me, I'm just as shocked as you are that I would be arranged into a, marriage.
Yeah, it's so mind-blowing. Is it more so mind-blowing now reflecting back on it?
Definitely reflecting back, I just think, oh my God, this really happened to me. Like, wow, did it really happen? And I'm just grateful that I've come out of this.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm scarred or I've got a scar always because I've been through it.
Right.
But look at, with what's happened, I'm just thinking, oh my God, and I'm actually living.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, am I right?
So let's fast track
to
so now we're in Lebanon.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're meeting the extended family. Tell us about that.
Oh, well, when I first got to Beirut Airport, I remember 2 armed soldiers standing staunch.
Oh, really? Was it under civil war or something?
Yeah, it was this time of coming out of civil war.
Oh,
I suppose. There wasn't just civil war happening.
This is in the 90s, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And that scared the shit out of me, to be honest, because I was like, oh my God, there's these 2 soldiers, with guns or whatever they had. So it kind of scared me. That was my first impressions of Lebanon.
Wow.
But it was the picturesque mountains. It was just amazing. I was like, wow, here we are. Yeah. So when I first met her,
what's her name?
Well, I call her Afra in the book. Let's just call her Afra.
Okay.
Because that's kind of very close to her name. I met her, and she's my cousin, and she was only like 15, turning 16.
Right.
When I first got to...
So she's just younger than you.
Yeah, well, I was 19, so she was like... But she was so innocent, and I remember her serving me for the first time, meaning food-wise.
Are you sure it was just food?
I didn't want anything.
At 16 and 19, I don't know.
I didn't even look at it like that. She was just like, I was like, oh my God, I was just like frightened. Okay, this is the girl that my family have instructed me to get to know.
Yeah.
And I was like, I kind of knew.
Your cousin.
Yeah, my cousin.
Yeah.
I didn't know her, I've never met her, I've never spoken to her, but this is my first time. I was like, okay.
And this is the first time you've heard about
Yes.
Wow.
And it was all happening over this.
Yeah. Because in your book you mentioned that your father specifically said, get to know Afra.
Yeah, that's right.
So that was the first time I mentioned of it, but
yeah.
Before then, nothing.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Right, okay.
And they were conditioning as I was growing up. you got to marry her
Yeah.
from the age of 13. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So by the time I was 19, I was conditioned to get to Lebanon and meet this
Afra.
cousin, Afra.
So Afra's serving you. And,
I'm usually the one that's doing the serving.
okay. Oh, that's right, because your mum's little helper.
So
Yeah.
she
You
was,
strike me as someone that would make a great little helper.
yeah.
Yeah.
I make a nice husband too.
Yeah, I bet you do.
One
All the
day.
single people out there.
Yeah, I'm single.
Right? You're still single now?
Yes, I am.
Oh,
I'm-
how has that happened?
I'm-
Young, handsome man like you.
You're beautiful.
How's that even possible?
I'm just living the dream. I'm
Yeah.
living my purpose.
So, Michael, I want to know, what was Afra's first word to you? What was her first sentence?
Hello.
Oh, she speaks English.
It's just hello. I don't recall exactly, but it was just hi
Okay.
or something like that. You know
Was
what
she
I mean?
as nervous as you
She was
were?
very nervous because she was being
Yeah.
obviously conditioned from her mother's side.
Oh, so she had the same
Yeah,
conditioning
yeah,
as
yeah.
you did?
Yeah, 100%. So
From when she came out of the fetus?
I don't know, to be honest, but since she, or maybe when she was growing up, her mother's conditioned her as well, like, and so as my dad, you know, my mum on my side. So
Yeah.
I think
Okay, then what followed?
well, I kind of just didn't see anything from our first, you know, meeting.
Yeah.
It was more so I wanted to get to Beirut and have my holiday of fun happen. So I kind of ignored, or tried to ignore
Yeah. So what village were they in?
the Zrarta, which is North Lebanon, and that's where my dad's from. And
Right.
that's where
And Beirut is the capital.
Beirut is, yeah. So I was actually more so...
Isn't that where Keanu Reeves is?
Yeah, but Keanu Reeves was born in Beirut.
Oh wow, there you go. It's just something that everyone recognizes.
Oh yeah, and I was like shocked about that. I don't know the story behind that, but no,
Yeah.
he was born in Beirut.
Okay, so you kind of wanted to escape that.
Yeah, I wanted a holiday fun, really.
Yeah.
It was just more of a holiday fun. And my auntie,
Yeah.
my dad's sister, his
Right.
older sister, lived in
Yeah.
Jouni. And Jouni is where the, you know, it's on a high
Yeah.
mountains.
Yeah.
And the vista from her balcony overlooking the Mediterranean Sea was just unbelievable.
Sounds divine.
And it was amazing.
Sounds
You
amazing.
must go. You
Sounds
must
amazing.
go.
Yeah, I will.
Uh,
But just to have this clear in people's mind,
Yeah.
the cousin that you met is your father's sister's daughter.
That's
is that
correct.
Okay.
That is correct. So my first cousin.
Yeah, well, just so people
My
just
auntie's daughter.
realize that, right? And then, then what happens?
Well, I was having fun in Jouni and around Beirut with my cousins, and
Right.
taking me out on the town and so forth. And then I get the call from my uncle, who
This is the uncle that you went to Lebanon with.
that's correct, and that's
He was Irish, right?
my mum's brother.
Right.
Okay, so he called me and said, "What are you doing?
Right.
Get to Zrafta now and
Yeah.
get to know your cousin."
Oh, because you're trying to escape, and he's just like.
That's exactly
"Step
right. And
Okay.
for me, it's all about respect and honouring family's wishes.
Right.
So I ended up going back to Zrarta
Right.
after I cried to my auntie
Oh no! What
and
did you
saying
say to her?
I sort of said I didn't want to get married.
Oh, so you did?
Yeah, I didn't want to. Yeah,
So you knew you're getting married?
Yeah, and I
and
told-
you just said, "Oh, you can't."
I
do
don't
this."
want to get married. So that
Yeah.
was like for me crying to her.
Wow.
And trying to reach out for her to help me.
Help.
I was married straight away, but
Mhm.
in Ahidin, which is
Right.
the mountains.
Okay.
It's where the cedar trees are, and it snows there. So
Fine.
when it's hot in summer, half an
Yeah.
hour, you're up in the mountain,
Yeah.
and it's the most amazing view, and it's cool.
Yeah.
Everyone escapes the
Right.
the summer up there. So anyway, I got
I
married.
want to bring you to the night before the wedding. Tell me about that.
I had a leiliyi, which is
what?
it's called a leiliyi.
Say what? Okay.
It's a tradition.
Just for everyone else, what?
Okay.
Say that slowly.
Okay, it's a leiliyi.
Okay, what does that mean?
It's a tradition where the groom has his own party. It's like a bucks night,
Right.
but it's not.
Okay.
It's with his family and drums and singers and on uncle's shoulders. Everyone has having fun.
Yeah.
But just before midnight, they take my party and my family take me to her party and family.
Right.
Since we were related,
You were related to one family.
we
Okay.
had to share.
You had to do it together.
We went to go to share the moment.
Yeah.
And then I kind of go into sort of her place and with flowers. I was lost. I really didn't know what I was doing.
Okay.
I was kind of like just pushed into this.
I bet.
To do-
So the morning of your wedding,
Mm.
you wake up in the morning. What time did you wake up?
Probably about 9 o'clock, near about 8:30.
Okay. How did you feel?
Well, I hadn't consummated the marriage. Oh, sorry, I haven't
What?
actually.
The wedding.
The
Well, you
wedding.
wanted to think of
Oh my God,
consummating the
sorry.
marriage? Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Whoa.
But I actually, like, I was really so. Needless to say, I was very stressed about whether I can man enough to go through and not just marry her, but also to sleep with her that night.
So, Michael, in your book, you were saying you hit the party scene pretty strong, right? Like for a long period in your life, taking drugs and everything. What's the drug taking in the party scene? Did that alleviate or suppress all this pain you were going through?
Yeah, at the time I was taking the drugs and being around with my community who have accepted me, away from my own family and friends. So everybody on the scene were on the same level that I was, you know, vying for acceptance and, you know, being who they are truly in this nightclub environment.
So you're feeling gay and free, is that what you're
That's
saying?
it, yeah.
So in your freedom, being gay.
Being me, you know, and
Right.
just getting on that next
And
level.
the drugs helped you elevate that or
Ex-
come into your truthfulness or your authenticity?
It helped me with all that, really, and helped
Right.
me be true to who I was,
Yeah.
and on that level.
Okay.
And it was amazing because everyone else was on that same level as well.
Okay, well, I mean, it just leads me to my question. If there was a drug that was created that could make you straight back in that moment where you had to get married back in Lebanon, would you have taken it?
I think I would have, only because I would have been brainwashed to take it.
You're all brainwashed. It's all conditioning. I'm telling you, it's all conditioning, right?
And-
So you would have. Yes.
At that time.
Right, but now in reflection, would you
Ask me-
still take it?
No.
You
Ask
would.
me today, no.
Yeah.
No.
So the 19-year-old would say no,
Yeah.
and the 41-year-old, right?
Yeah, the 99 would say yes to take it.
Yeah.
The 41 would say no.
Interesting. Don't you find that interesting?
I kind of do, but I'm very comfortable with who I am and who I was born to be. So why should I take that pill now?
Do you think a lot of gay people would take that pill if it was available?
I would say so if they're growing up to, you know, the way I was and
Right.
19 or 18 or 17 and the cultural. It's
Right.
still very hard for them.
Yeah. How do your parents feel about you now, being out? You're out, right?
I'm very hard.
So you're living your life, you're living your authentic life,
Yeah.
and your parents are very accepting.
Amazing. My parents are so lovely. My family's lovely. They accept me.
Okay, so if you brought a guy home today,
Yeah, they'll be more than happy to have them as part of my family. And
Right.
as part of Chris Kringle, Secret Santa that we do every
Really?
year. It's amazing.
so sweet.
Yeah, it's just such a family environment. So, of course, he'll be part of that. And, yeah, I'll probably will get married and they'll be there.
Is that your wish?
Yeah, I would. I do.
Would you get married in Lebanon?
No.
No? Where is it going to
I've already
happen?
been done that.
Yeah.
I'd probably want to marry. It doesn't really matter where. It's just as long as marriage equality is accepted,
Yeah.
and I meet the right person from that cultural background. I'm happy to marry wherever.
What's your type?
Well, you know, I used to like the Anglos, but now I'm looking more cultured, looking
Right.
more someone that inspires me,
Yeah.
someone that's, you know, so comfortable in their own skin,
Right.
and someone that loves from the heart. You
Is
know?
it safe to say that's because you've arrived at that space?
Yeah, totally,
Right.
totally.
Very cool. So tell me about the LGBT community in America. How have they embraced you and how has the media embraced you here?
Amazing. You know, my first stop here on the US book tour was San Francisco.
Okay.
And,
you were in the papers, right?
Yeah, I'm in the
Is this the
paper.
biggest gay paper in San Francisco or America?
In
Tell
the
us.
LGBT,
Right.
in San Francisco, and the most circulated in America.
Wow. And
And
we're
then-
talking about millions in the circulation, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
And the oldest
Wow.
newspaper.
Very
So I was
impressive.
so proud.
Yeah. Very
and,
cool.
and Brian,
Yeah.
the journalist, has been amazing support.
Go, Brian.
Yeah, I love you, Brian.
Shout out to Brian. What's his name?
Brian Brahmangoga. I think it is.
Okay, Brian, we love you, Brian.
I love you,
Alright.
Brian.
Okay.
So yeah,
So
it's been
that just came
amazing.
out this week?
Came out this week. I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm there right now in
Yeah.
San Francisco, and it's been circulating around the world as we speak. You know, I've been getting people twittering me,
Yeah.
following me,
Twittering.
yeah, twittering,
Nothing,
following me from amazing like
Everywhere.
TV hosts to celebrities and so forth.
So now you're a world-renowned author.
I am, and I'm
International.
I'm so.
How does that feel?
I don't. It feels amazing, but I don't feel that. I'm just a western suburbs from Sydney kind of guy.
Doesn't really change who you are.
It doesn't change who I am. I want to stay grounded,
Yeah.
and stay true to who I am and what I believe.
And Sir Michael, you know, not only I find you very inspirational, and not only Australia finds you inspirational, I'm sure all of America is going to find you inspirational once they get, you know, catch on to your story. What message would you give to the families?
But basically,
That's going to make a difference.
well, basically, all the families out there, parents, children, they really, really, really need to accept that we do have gay children. Sam, it's so important because when I was growing up, I was so lonely. I was depressed because I had no family members. But at the end of the day, viewers, it was my family that accepted me, my parents, my brothers, my sister, that finally got me through depression. It's really important that you really need to stick with your family and accept them, and family as a whole. Also, Sam, they need to accept and understand that we do have children that are born homosexual. This is not a choice, viewers. This is the way I was born to be, you know. And it's really important, Sam. That message needs to be.
Yeah, and for the gay teenage viewers, what would you suggest they say to their family? What sort of words would you give them to be able to, or wisdom that they would be able to approach their families?
Well, with me, it was very difficult at first, but those homosexual viewers, be true to who you are and just tell your family, you know, and educate them that this is the way you are, and they are still we are still God's children as far as, you know.
I mean, I agree, because I know that there's children out there though that come out of the closet and they get disowned by their families. Right? So I'm wondering, how would you approach that from your experience?
I just think, to be honest, it's educational understanding of homosexuality. We need to be out there, and the families need to be educated.
Thank you, Michael, so much for joining me today. So good to have you. So to take the journey on the depressions of life, and not only surviving our life, but thriving in life, get this book. Oh my God, am I alright? Tune in again. I'm Sam Tautua.
What an amazing story. I would like to thank once again Aurelia Sophia Roman for her support to bring you this amazing story all the way from Los Angeles. Thank you for watching another episode of This is Australia and Beyond. We'll see you next week.